Have you ever felt like you're always available, but never truly present? Like your time is constantly being stolen by things and people that don't nourish your soul? What if I told you that the path to peace isn't paved with more hustle, more giving, or more pleasing, but with less? Because the truth is, in a world that never stops demanding, the most radical act is to say no. We're taught to be available, to be responsive, to pick up every call, reply to every message, agree to every request. Somewhere along the way, we learned that always being reachable meant we were kind, responsible, and successful. But what if that's not kindness? What if that's self-neglect? The Stoics believed that a person's time is their most precious resource, not their wealth, not their possessions, not even their reputation. Time. So, today let's talk about setting boundaries, valuing your time, and reclaiming your peace. Not in an angry defensive way, but in a grounded Stoic way. This video might just be the wake-up call your soul's been waiting for. 1. Boundaries are the walls that protect the garden of your mind. We don't often think of ourselves as gardens, but we are. And without a wall, a garden is trampled. Without protection, beauty withers. You can't flourish if everything and everyone has unfiltered access to you. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology gave us words like burnout and people-pleasing. They knew that without boundaries, your mind becomes a marketplace, loud, chaotic, overrun with the voices of others. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary?" That single line can serve as a compass in moments of overwhelm. Is this message necessary to answer right now? Is this meeting necessary? Is this argument necessary? Is this guilt even necessary? Boundaries aren't rejection, they're redirection of your energy, your attention, your love, back toward what nourishes you. When you begin to set them, it's awkward. You might feel guilt, you might feel selfish. But with time, something shifts. You stop reacting to every tug on your soul. You stop proving your worth through constant sacrifice. And you begin to protect the garden within, the one place you were always meant to keep sacred. 2. Your time is a non-renewable resource. Every minute you spend scrolling, worrying, explaining yourself, being somewhere your heart doesn't want to be, is a piece of your life you never get back. Seneca once said, "People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy." Let that sink in. You wouldn't let a stranger take your car. You wouldn't hand over your bank password. But your time, that gets handed out like a free sample, to everyone, for everything. How much of your life have you given to people who didn't appreciate it, to habits that didn't evolve you, to obligations that weren't even yours to carry? The Stoic doesn't wait for life to slow down. They slow themselves down within life. They guard their minutes like diamonds because they know it's not how much time you have, it's how much life you pour into each moment. So start counting your minutes the way a dying man might, not with panic, but with reverence. 3. Detach to reconnect with what's real. Let's be honest, detachment gets a bad reputation. People assume it means you don't care, that you've given up, that you're cold or indifferent. But to the Stoic, detachment is not indifference, it's clarity. It's choosing what you allow into your emotional space. It's not being dragged into every argument. It's refusing to carry the emotional baggage of others without your consent. Epictetus reminds us, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things. That means not everyone will understand why you don't argue back, why you don't chase, why you stop showing up for chaos. But you're not here to be understood. You're here to be whole. Detachment means you recognize that not every message deserves a reply. Not every insult deserves your dignity. Not every event demands your energy. You're not disengaging from life. You're disengaging from what isn't life. And in that space you create, what remains is quiet, honest, real. You don't lose yourself through detachment. You find yourself. 4. Withdraw without guilt. We live in a world where being busy is worn like a badge of honor. But what if withdrawing is the most courageous thing you can do? Not to run, but to return to your own rhythm. The Stoics didn't romanticize constant involvement. They saw value in stepping back, in choosing stillness, in walking away not out of defeat, but out of wisdom. There is nothing wrong with disappearing for a while, not answering messages, not attending events, not explaining. Because peace doesn't announce itself in the crowd. It waits in the silence. Seneca reminds us, the greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today. When you withdraw, you reclaim today. You tell the world, I exist beyond what I do for you. You tell yourself, I am enough even when I am invisible. You don't owe anyone access to your energy 24/7. You don't owe appearances. You don't owe performative positivity. Withdraw, without guilt, without shame, and when you return with a fullness that only solitude can give you. 5. Choose discipline over drama. Here's the truth. Nobody likes to say out loud, most of what disturbs us is optional. The drama, the overthinking, the distractions, the constant need to prove ourselves or be involved in everything. These things do not just happen to us, we allow them. But the Stoic chooses discipline because they understand that freedom isn't found in indulging every urge. Freedom is found in the strength to not reply to the message in anger, to not justify yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you, to not fill the silence with noise. This is what Seneca thought. No man is free who is not master of himself. Self-mastery begins in the small moments. The decision to stay silent, the act of turning off your phone, the refusal to be emotionally baited. Discipline is not about harshness, it's about devotion. Devotion to your peace, devotion to your purpose, devotion to the kind of person you want to be when no one is watching. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more people who have the courage to be calm in the middle of it. 6. Silence is a statement. In a world addicted to noise, choosing silence is an act of rebellion. We've been conditioned to believe that silence means weakness, that we must speak, respond, post, argue, or will be forgotten. But the Stoic understands the immense strength in restraint. They know that silence is not absence, it's presence, on your own terms. You don't need to comment on everything. You don't need to defend yourself in every conversation. You don't need to fill every silence with a smile or small talk. Because silence speaks. It says, I am not at the mercy of your chaos. It says, I have nothing to prove to you. It says, I choose peace over performance. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you always own the option of having no opinion. Read that again. You don't have to carry the burden of every controversy, every demand, every emotional storm around you. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing and walk away. 7. You teach people how to treat you. Every time you say yes when you want to say no, you teach someone that your boundaries don't matter. Every time you let someone speak over you, take from you, guilt you, you teach them that your peace is negotiable. But here's the hard truth. People don't always cross your boundaries maliciously. Sometimes they cross them because you left the door open. The Stoics believed in living by example, not through loud declarations but through quiet consistency. They didn't demand respect, they embodied it. Epictetus once said, how long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself? This isn't about being harsh, it's about being honest with yourself and others. When you begin to honor your own time, energy, and space, something changes. Not just in how others treat you, but in how you see yourself. You stop shrinking, you stop over-explaining, you stop apologizing for protecting your peace. And people feel that. They either rise to meet your new standards, or they fall away. And either outcome is a blessing. If there's one thing to take from this, let it be this. You have the right to protect your energy. You have the right to say no without guilt. You have the right to be unavailable to the chaos of the world and deeply present in the stillness of your own soul. This isn't avoidance. This is alignment. So, set your boundaries, honor your time, and retreat when you must. You're not here to serve everyone's expectations. You're here to live with depth, clarity, and purpose. If this video spoke to you, if it made you think, reflect, or feel seen, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. It helps more than you know. And there's another video on my channel that's showing on your screen right now. It's waiting to guide you even deeper into the Stoic path. Until next time, and as always, stay Stoic.